First thing, get really, really clear of what you don't want. Before you start telling yourself, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, let's get really fucking clear of where you are and what you don't like about these circumstances. I know that I am eating way too much chocolate. I don't want to do that. I know that my sleeping pattern is terrible. I don't want to do that. Get really clear about it. We call this, in our language, we call it a subtraction list. That's a tool that we use. Any of these tools that I'm going to talk about that you want, that you don't have access to, let us know, and I'll make sure that David sends you a worksheet. Thank you. So have some type of subtraction list. What do you don't want? I don't want to have this negative self-talk that I have. I don't want to carry around these 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds of fat that is just there on me. I don't want that. I don't want to go to bed and wake up tired the next day. I don't want to be stressed. All of these things. We get really, really clear what we don't want. The power with that is that once we have that thing mapped out, then we can start adding. Because if you start adding straight away, what's going to end up happening is that you're just going to be overwhelmed. All of a sudden is you have your regular life that can be overwhelming by itself, or it probably is overwhelming by itself. That's probably how you found me. And then you meet a guy like me or a coach, and that coach is telling you, yeah, but you need to add motivation or add visualization, add mindset training, add meditation, add training, add healthy food. It's like, wait. Like, I'm here because I'm overwhelmed. I don't want more things. I want clarity. So before we add things, let's get really clear about things that we don't want. After that, and this is step number 2, we start to map out the things that we actually want. What do I actually want here? Within the next 90 days, you look at your schedule. Okay, I have this time. Here are the things that I want. Just like Nina, I think it was Nina who was saying it. It's like, let's map out the things that I have to do. I know that every Monday, 10:30 p.m. Central European time, I have to do a webinar. I know that every second week, I have to do this. I know that every other week, I have to do that. So we do have some musts. We do have some deadlines. Some of the things are happening every day. Some of the things are happening within other types of, with other type of frequency. But what are the things that you actually want? And get really, really clear with that. Like I made a post yesterday. It's like right now we're opening up 5 new spots for our program, or for one of our programs. And it's if you want to lose 10 to, 20 to 25, no, 20 to 45 pounds, very specific. You want to change your relationship with self-love. You want to change your relationship with training and nutrition. Really, really specific within the next 90 days. Get clear about what you want. We call this movie ending. In our language, we call this like a short-term movie ending. Within the next 90 days, in health, wealth, love, and happiness. Get really super clear about what you want on each of these pillars. Now, maybe you are really, really happy with your love pillar, your wealth pillar. Maybe that's through the roof. Maybe you are doing great in your happiness, but your health is terrible. So maybe you just really need to focus on that. All right? It's hard to boost yourself on all 4 pillars at the same time. It's really hard, but it's possible. It's possible, but it's really tough. It takes a lot of time and focus management. All right? So far, so good? Making sense? Still here? Awesome. So first you subtract everything. You subtract the things you don't want, mental and physical. And you also subtract the thing, you also write down the things that you want to subtract, but you physically can't right now. Like, I want to take away this weight, but you can't do it in 1 week, right? It's going to take some time. But you just get clear about the things that you don't want. Then you map out the things that you do want. And then the third thing you do is that you look at the habits that supports your goal. You start looking at habits that support your goals. So I weigh 20 kilos more than I want. I weigh about 15 pounds more than I want. What can I do? What habits can I add to my life that will get me there? I can jump off one station earlier when I go to work and walk an extra kilometer or an extra mile. I can stop buying sweets in the grocery store. I can have a shopping list with me when I go to the grocery store, so I don't bring sweets in, or so I don't buy sweets, because I only buy what's on my grocery list. Or maybe you're dealing with negative self-talk. You can add the habit of meditating, so you start controlling what's happening up here more. Maybe affirmations. Maybe you start writing in your 3x journal. Does everybody know what the 3x journal is? Yeah? Okay, no. So the 3x journal is you write, this is what I do. I write down every morning, I write down 3 things that I love about myself, 3 things that I'm grateful for, or I start with grateful. So it's 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things I love about myself, and 3 traits of the day. Those 3 traits are usually the same. Usually write the same thing. Every day I write 3 new things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for having a strong mind, especially now. I have a cold. It sucks ass to have a cold, but I'm still positive. I'm really grateful for that. I'm still able to breathe, even if I have a cold. And I'm very grateful for David, for example. I write down 3 things. Then I write down 3 things that I really love about myself. I love the way my beard looks. I think it looks fucking sharp, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love my hands. I love the color of my skin. 3 things. Because you write this day in and day out, right? So, like, by the end of the week, all of a sudden, you've been doing this for 1 week and you've been writing down 21 things you love about yourself. All of a sudden, you're gonna start talking about other things. It's like, damn, like, I really love that I can breathe. So I love my nose, or I love my endocrine system, or I love my hormonal system, whatever. So because you start to look at things and things you love about yourself, so that's gonna boost your confidence. And then you write down 3 things that 3 traits of the day. I'm gonna be positive, I'm gonna be cool, calm, and collected, and I'm gonna be happy. And then when you're existing throughout your day, you stop for a while and you look at yourself and it's like, am I happy? Like, what was my traits of the day? And then because these traits are usually the same, because it's not like, okay, on Thursday I want to be happy, and then on Wednesday now I want to be sad, and then like, it's usually the 3 same things that happens, the 3 traits, and then every once in a while they tweak because maybe you have an important meeting that comes up on Friday. So on Friday you want to be like really determined or whatever. So the 3x journal, I really think it's a great way to build your mind if that was one of the habits that you wanted to establish to support your goal. Did that make sense? I'm still making sense, right? Awesome. So first you subtract your shit, then you add some shit, and then you find what type of shit you can add to your shit so your shit becomes awesome. That makes sense? Fantastic. 1 second. You know the worst thing with having a cold is that you get the what do you call this in English when you're like You know when you're out running and you get really, you start to breathe heavy? It's like, is that called anything, or you guys just call it, you start to breathe heavy? Yeah, you start to breathe heavy. You start to breathe heavy just by talking. That's really annoying. So, awesome. Then the fourth thing you do in this 8-step process that we use is that you stack your habits. You stack your habits. Like I can't express in words how important it is to stack your habits. So the way you do that, if you're new and you haven't been watching us before, the way to stack your habit is just you take an already existing habit and then you add another thing on top of it. You brush your teeth in the morning, so you are already alone in the toilet, hopefully, and that's just a perfect time for you to add in meditation. I'm meditating on the toilet. Like I brush my teeth and then I just sit down on the ground in the toilet or on the floor in the toilet and I meditate. Why? I'm already there. I'm already there. As soon as I leave the toilet, I might meet my girlfriend, I might see my phone and I might grab it, but like I'm already there. Let me just meditate while I'm there. 5 minutes, perfect. So add one habit and then you smack another habit right on top of it. And if it didn't make sense, it's like you document everything. It's like you write down on a piece of paper the things you're gonna subtract. You write down on a piece of paper your goal for the next 90 days, the things that you actually want, your short-term movie ending. You write down the habits that support this goal. Then you look at your calendar and the things you already do in your life and you stack those habits on top of already existing habits. And like you physically write it. Number 3 was write down all the habits that support that goal. All right, so don't just like that. You write everything down so you can look at it and then you put it into your calendar. And that's the 5th step. The 5th step is plan it. Plan your shit. Put it into your calendar. Remember, you want to get better than you were before. You don't want to be as good as you were before. You want to get better than you were before. It's the same thing when you get injured. Like that type of mindset is the mindset you want when you get injured. A lot of people saying is like, yeah, I just want to be as good as I were before. It's like, no, that's not what you want to be. Because if you, like I injured my knee, for example, or my foot. If I make sure to be as good as I were before, but then I'm going to get injured again. I got injured because I wasn't strong enough. So I can't get here. If I have this level of strength and I'm having this amount of impact on my body, then the impact is going to be greater than the strength. So that's not how I can do. Or that's not what I should do, sorry. I need to get stronger. I should get stronger than I were before. Did that making sense? Like that's so important. And now I'm talking about physical strength, but this concept applies 100% the same to your mental strength. So if you're in a rut right now, if you're in a mental rut, don't aim to be as good as you were before you got into that rut. Because if you were stronger mentally, there is a big chance that you wouldn't get in the rut you are in today. We want to get you stronger. And you don't rise to your potential, you fall to the level, to the standards of your systems. You don't rise to your potential. You fall to the standards of your systems. Everyone here got greatness inside of us. Everybody who's sitting in here have greatness inside of us. The only reason some of us succeed faster is because we have systems that are really fucking good. That's the only reason. All right? When you have good systems in place, I'm not talking about only like, yeah, but I have a system where I put it into my calendar. No, it's like you have a system to how to deal with overwhelming. You have a system to deal with negative self-talk. These are all the worksheet that we provide. Feeling overwhelmed? Got it. Movie ending. Focus on the things that matters. Don't feel motivated? Fantastic. Inaction spiral. Go grab it. We're giving this away for free. These are tools and worksheets that will help you to deal with all of these situations, these setbacks, or these obstacles. Feeling overwhelmed? Subtraction list. Not excited about life? 3x journal. Right? These are systems. Some of us use them more than others. The more you use these systems, the more powerful they will get. Doubt yourself, power phrase. This is making sense, right? Like that I think that's so important. Like you fall to the standards of your system. Like the more you apply it, the more you will use it. Or the more you apply it, the more it will work. Sorry. Is this making sense, Martina? I see you're like, you're hesitating a little bit. Is it making sense?
I'm not sure if I have understand what you mean. So you think that it's better to start from zero because the things that I have, that I was good before, not there in my system. And so it's better to start from zero because I don't want to progress further.
That's not that's not necessarily what I mean. I think I didn't explain it well enough. What I mean is that I'm 100% sure that you have the same ability that I have, the same ability that Nina has, or the same ability as Raluca has to succeed in whatever the fuck you want to do, right? But the reason why one of us, of all the names that I mentioned, are succeeding at a higher rate, or succeeding more, if you want to say that, is that some of us are following systems that are really, really good. Did that make sense? So that's why I say, like, whenever I start to doubt myself, which happens frequently, I look at my cookie jar. That is that's another worksheet. I look at the cookie jar and I look at the highlights that all the other things that I've been doing. And I'm like, damn, if I can do this, like, why couldn't I do that? I look at it really logical. Because my emotions tells me that I can't do it. So I hear these voices and I start to doubt myself. But my cookie jar shows me how awesome I am. And then I look at it. So if I can do this, I can do that. But if I didn't have the cookie jar, if I didn't have the high standard of systems in place already, I won't reach that potential. Is that making more sense? Yeah, you sure? Okay. So that's what I meant with, like, plan it, put it in your calendar, and have systems in place. So then you have a system in place, right? So you have what you don't want, you have what you do want, you have habits, you have habit stacking, and then you have now systems, or you have it in your calendar and it's planned. So it's like, you know what time you will do what. So this point is point number 5. It's plan it. Plan it. Put it in your calendar. Where, what, and how are you going to do this thing that you just said? When, where, and how are you going to do it? I'm going to train with Coach Sebastian in his application at 8 o'clock in my living room. Or I'm gonna meditate for 5 minutes straight after I brush my teeth. Okay? Put it in your calendar. One of my mentors keeps saying, show me your calendar and I show you your future. Show me your calendar, I can show you your future. If your calendar looks like chaos, I guarantee you your future will be chaos. Why? Because you're planning for chaos. You're winging it. Don't wing it. That's not why we're here. Then we goes back to, yeah, but I'm trying. Yeah, but I'm trying. Yeah, that's the reason why we're not succeeding, because you keep trying. Stop with the trying. Start with the doing. All right. Any questions? Any questions so far before I continue? Unmute yourself, even if you don't have your camera on. I see there's some people here that are still hanging out but you don't have your camera on. Nancy, what's happening? Hope you're doing fantastic. Monica, hope you're doing equally as good. And Martina, hope same for you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. If you have any questions, you can still put them in the chat. Let me see in the chat here. Do we have any questions? Do you have any?
I just want to say I really like what you said now about show me your calendar and I'll show you your future.
It's powerful.
That was really nice.
Thank you. It's not. I wish I could take credit for the quote, but it's not my quote. But it's really true. It's really true. The days you don't live up to your potential, or you feel inside like, damn, I didn't really do a lot today, or I didn't really do a lot this week. It's like, that's the reason. If you look at my month of June, fucking chaos. Like the calendar is blank basically. I didn't use it. Like I just didn't use my calendar. So I didn't get the results that I wanted. So show me your calendar. I promise you I can show me your future. Then comes point number 6. After you planned it, we need a way to track it. First you plan it, then we need to track it. I use the world's most effective tracking system, and I call it Don't Break the Chain. Every day I do something. Let's say I'm gonna meditate every day. I put that shit on my wall so I can see it. It's impossible for me to not see it. It's impossible for my girlfriend to not get bothered because it looks like trash in our living room. But fuck it. If you come to my home, on our bathroom mirror, there is like an A4 paper right now. And it's just a bunch of crosses. And we live in a really small apartment right now. We're in Sweden, so my girl can barely see her face in the mirror. But it is what it is. I need to see it. And every day when I've done what I'm supposed to be doing, I make a cross. And the goal is to don't break the chain. That's the goal. Don't break the chain. You're gonna post on social media every day because you just started a new business. Every day you make a cross. You're gonna meditate every day. Every day you make a cross, and then sooner or later you will have a little chain. It will look like a tail. The only rule is to never break that shit. The only rule is to don't break it. And then you know what I mean, like you can have like tons of different tracking systems. I mean, you can use Trello, you can use habit trackers. I'm a super lazy person, so I just know that I need I'm not a lazy person, that's the wrong way of saying it. I'm an easy person. I'm an easy guy. I'm a simple man. So I just know I need a simple system that I can actually follow. You know what I mean? There's again, power list is like the world's easiest way to accomplish what you're supposed to be accomplishing. Like I don't do long fucking to-do lists or whatever, like critical. Okay, so then I have a critical tasks here, and then I have not so critical, and then I can move the critical tasks down there, and then I can take that thing and move it over there. Listen, I'm a simple man. I do 3 things per day. 3 things. Today I was gonna write copywriting for three. I'm gonna write copywriting. That's one thing. I'm gonna do lead generating, and I'm gonna have a webinar. If I do those 3 things, I win the day. That's it. Everything else is just sprinkles on the cake. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. My goal is to win the day. Today I won the day. Keep it simple. And then goes the last thing. The last and final thing that we do. or that I do, and all of our students do this. All of our students all of our online students do this. The people that get the biggest success, the highest success rates, are the people that follow exactly this. The last thing is that you have some type of system where you review your progress. You can review it every week or every day. I prefer to do it every week, every Sunday or Monday, depending on what I feel like, to be honest. I sit down and I track what I was supposed, or I review the week that has been. And then when I review the week, I looked at 3 things first, but Erlinda added a 4th one that I now use religiously. The first thing is that I score myself. First, I look at the things that I wanted to do. Then look at my calendar, and I also use an application called Clockify, where I actually time the things that I do. And then I look at all the things that I wanted to accomplish, and then I look at the things that I actually accomplished. And then I give myself a score, 8 to 10, but I also add decimals. And then I look at what were the things that went well during this week. Then I look at the things that I want to improve. And then, so it's like the score, what went well, what to improve. And then because of Erlinda, I'm now also adding what's my next move, an action step. The total score of the week, what went well, what to improve, what's my next move. What's the thing I'm going to do right now? Like as soon as I shut my, so if I write my things or I scribble it here. I can even show you guys how my things looks. Here we go. Can you see it here? Oh, wait, I can share my screen. What am I doing? Bum, bum. Share screen. Here we go. Here we go. So, here we go. Weekly score. What to improve. So, I want to work more with Google Cal. Last week I gave myself a 6.2. I'm looking more at my Google Cal. I do this, blah, blah, blah. I do the power list. I do daily check-ins, because weekly check-ins, I want to do daily check-ins today or this week. Then what went well. The days I do time blocking, I got more done. I focused on love and happiness in most of the situation. I started to fix my hips, blah, blah, blah. And then next action steps. Okay, cool. I'm going to do a new triangle. I'm going to time block every day, daily planning, and midday check-ins. Super simple, and I actually do it. All right? Very straightforward. Not a lot of fluff. Again, I'm a simple guy, so I need a simple system to follow. That's it. So, quick recap. If you actually want to get better, there are 8 things that you need to do. And if you don't get this right, you will, or 1, don't get any results at all, or 2, you use an old system and that system obviously didn't work, because if it did work, you wouldn't be in the situation where you are now. You would be 1, further on the line, or 2, further on the line. So there are 8 things that we do to get there. 1, get clear about what you don't want. 2, what do you actually want? 3, write down all the habits that support these goals. 4, habit stack. Put one habit on top of another. 5, Plan it. Show me your calendar. I can show you your future. Track it. Don't break the chain. Review number 8. Sorry, number 7. Oh, so this is a 7-step process. This is not an 8-step process. This is an 8-step process. 7 or 8? Bueno, last thing. Write down, review your progress. Review your progress. How many points you guys got? 7 or 8?
What was number 5?
You got 7, right? Number 5 was number 5 was plan it. Put it in your calendar. Okay, so let's make it 8. So bueno, if we want to make it 8, you can do you can add the first one, and we add the one that Nina said, and that one is like, is this actually achievable within the next X amount of time? So now we have, this is how to get back stronger after the summer. So it's September, October, November, December, 4 months. Is it humanly possible with the time I have in front of me, with all the other projects I got, work, family, blah, blah, all of these things, is it humanly possible for me? Have anyone else done what I am trying to accomplish? Probably. That's number 1. Subtract. Movie ending. Write down your habits. Habit stacking. Show me your calendar. Don't break the chain, and review your progress. So we have now 8 steps, or 7 depending on how you see it, and you have 8 or 7 depending on how you see it, different worksheet and different tools that you can use to get better than you were before. Is this making sense, familia? Yeah? Tell me. I know you guys have some questions, for sure. For sure there are some questions about this. Talk to me in the chat. What is a question you got? Or you know what? Just unmute yourself. Just unmute yourself. I don't want to read. Just unmute yourself. Any questions or any topics that you want to hear more about and discuss? You try.
Can I share something?
Go.
So this is something that I was told a long time ago, which fits in totally with what you're saying about things, but there's one thing to add. So someone once told me to eat the frog. So it's something that you don't ever want to do. So it's basically the top 3 things in the day that you know you have to do and you really don't want to, and you write them down on post-it notes and you put them on your computer, or you put them on your mirror or whatever. And those are the 3 things that you, like you say, you have to achieve that day, but you get the eat the frogs out of the way first, because those are the bits that are going to really challenge you. So once you've done that, you've won your day. So eat the frog. And then someone else told me also about eat the elephant. Have you heard of eating the elephant?
No.
So this is when you're, it's just, I think it's a really cool thing, and I use it quite a lot. When there's a project or something that you have to do that is so big that it feels like this enormous elephant, and someone has told you that you have to eat it. The only way you can do it is by breaking it down into small pieces. So I draw an elephant and then I put it into little pieces like meat, and then you and then you just work your way through it until you've managed to eat the elephant. And I've used that a few times now, because sometimes I just need something visual, but it does work.
So what if I'm vegetarian?
Then you eat a plant-based elephant.
You have a cucumber. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it. I like it.
It's quite useful, because
Yeah.
it just, sometimes if you're a visual person and you
Exactly.
and you don't do lists, some people just can't do lists. So
Yeah.
it works quite well.
I think that's great. I think that both of them are really good. Is like, do the hardest thing first, and just eat the elephant, divide it into pieces. So there is some science behind it also. There is a theory that's called, what's it called? It's based around decision fatigue, and it's like the more decisions you make during the day, the less power you have to do it by the end of the day. So I always say, like, if I don't work out first thing in the morning, I'm not gonna do it. like there's a really little chance, and I'm Coach Sebastian, you know what I mean? But it's like the more I postpone that workout, the greater the risk of me to not do it will happen. Just do the heaviest thing in the morning. So I think that I guess that's the same thing when it comes to eating a frog. It's like, and there is real science that can support this. I don't know the exact numbers or what is what, but it's like do the heaviest thing in the morning, because then you still have power. So just eat the frog. Just eat that shit straight away in the morning. Take care, Nana. Ciao. Do we have any other question?
Even if we're writing,
I have one question.
Tell me.
Which are the systems that I have to use? It's the one thing, the triangle, then the cookie jar, then the dance specific training platform. And there are some other systems that I forgot or not?
Give me a second. I'm gonna think about. Give me a second. I'm gonna think about it.
Okay.
And I'm also
Can
gonna.
I say something?
Yeah,
Sebastian?
yeah. Shoot. I'm writing at the same. I'm writing all the habits down at the same time. So I'm a man. I can only do one thing at this. I can only do one thing at. I can barely breathe and exist at the same time. So, so go talk. Yeah.
Every step has a tool that you use. So like the number 7 is to review your progress. And so and I think I sent a Google Doc to you guys where I created I think I called it the weekly opportunity planner. So so I asked the same questions that you asked, Sebastian. And I have like a score from 1 to 10, and so you just circle it. So that you have an actual like worksheet that you can work off to do your evaluation every week. And you know, the questions are in the app that you send every Sunday.
Exactly.
So if you just put those things in a document, and then you have your own document to use every week.
So much easier, right? You have everything in front of you. And Martin, I think what you're trying to say is like, there are some, you're in the mentorship program, so there are some things that are like mandatory for you guys. It's like you have the application where we do all the communication together, and we actually do the follow-up systems and the accountability. You have your triangle that we're constantly working from. We have your movie ending. We have your the 2-week sprints, which is basically inside of the triangle, right? Like those are the things that you need to do in order to succeed at your coaching, so to say, right? Like these are like the foundations. Then, like Linda is saying, like every step of the 8-step process or the 7-step process is what I just like. I can go top to bottom and describe all of them, and they are different things. And I have a zillion different worksheets. I have a zillion different like systems in order for you to reach different types of things in your life, right? But they are not mandatory. You can use them if you want to. I believe that the more you use them, the easier and the faster and the better you're gonna get. Is this making sense? So I think that's why there might be some confusion. And Madeleine, the reason why there is no number 8 is because number 1 or number 0 was look at your calendar and like, can you actually do it? You understand? All right. So it's like, let's say you have it's like you have the busiest time at work and you need to work 16 hours a day. Is it honestly, like honestly, is it working? Does it work for you to train an hour and a half 5 days a week? Like probably not, right? So that's number 0 or number 1. I messed up. But did that make sense? I'm jumping in between 2 people now. Martina, did that make sense? So we have tons of different things. So it's like, the more you use all of these things, the more you use all of the different systems that we throw out and the different worksheets, the more we use all of them, the more we'll the more you have tools that you can use when I'm not there. All right, that's essentially why we have tools. It's like, I don't want to sit and come up with new shit every time. Like, why would I come up with new things about movie ending when it's already there? It's working. You know what I mean? Like, we have movie ending. Like, yeah, but what about vision boards? It's like, yeah, that probably works too. Or like, it's not probably, I mean, it works. It's great. But why have both? Isn't it better to just have one thing and be really fucking good at that? You know? It's like, yeah, but I want to have a vision board, and I want to have a manifestation platform, and a movie ending, and a goal setting, and long term and short term. I get overwhelmed, personally. I just want one thing. One thing. I have my movie ending, and I look at that shit every day. Then I add more pictures, and then maybe I try, sometimes I put it into Trello, because in Trello I can add photos from my phone, very simple. But if you want to just, you know, if you are an old school character, or like you just want to, like, you know, cut out some shit from different magazines and print it, that's you. But it's essentially the same thing. Anyone else wants to, Raluca, do you have any questions, Raluca, or you want to add anything? Nancy, if you're with us, is Nancy still here? No, she had to leave. Monica, you've been muted. I'm gonna send a request for you to see if you can unmute. Maybe you are at your work or something like that. Or anybody else want to add something or take away something, or just have maybe some point of view you want to share, or a question, or maybe you can talk a little bit more about like habit stacking coach or anything like that, or everything is clear as ice. Don't worry, Monica. We're just glad to have you with us.
I'd like to add something.
Go.
I think it's also good to tie in with the like the plan and schedule with the review, the weekly review that you so you're reviewing your progress. So you also want to review your calendar and what's coming up for the week. So you kind of stack those two things. So you can plan.
Exactly. That's a great one. During your review, don't just review yourself. Review life. What is happening? Like, have some thinking time. What is happening? Okay, but what's coming up the next week? And the next week, like the 2 weeks ahead. Oh, damn, it's my mom's birthday. Okay, cool. I know that my mom is expecting me to do this and this. So then I need to block off half of Wednesday because I need to go and buy a present. So look at the things that are happening. Plan for it. Think about things. I made this move. What am I gonna do now? Just like Danny was saying, she was existing in her first project. And then she took some time. She stopped and she looked at us like, damn, like I could have done that class. I could have done that class. But if she didn't stop and reviewed her shit, she would have booked that guy next time also. But it's like, no, I got it. What is actually happening? No? Danny. All right, guys. Danny just literally wrote down on her hand, buy present to brother-in-law. Actually, literally. Okay, guys, listen. That's
It's
what
a system.
It's
That's
a
not
yo.
it, it's a system.
It's a system. Whatever works, whatever gets you there. All right, familia. That's everything I wanted to run over today. Unless you guys have anything to add, we're gonna call it a day, all right? Awesome. First of all, I want to say thank you for coming to this webinar. Really glad you joined. I had a great time teaching it. I had a great time coming up with it. And it helped me to stay sharp. All right? Everybody unmute yourself. I'm gonna say bye dancers. You're gonna say for dancers, and then we're gonna ease out. Okay, unmute yourself, unmute yourself. Here we go. All right, familia, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Really, truly appreciate all of you. You give my life a much deeper purpose thanks to you guys. So remember, as always, bye dancers.
For
For
dancers.
dancers.
All right. Ciao.
Ciao.
Talk to you guys soon.
Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao for now.
Thank you.
Guys.